Every NBA Finals has its legends. But behind the glory, there's a dark side. Blown calls, dirty plays, shocking suspensions, and moments the league wishes you'd forget. From missing MVPs to last-second chaos, this is every NBA Finals controversy you didn't know shook the game forever. The 1969 Lakers vs. Celtics, the Wilt Chamberlain MVP snub. The 1969 NBA Finals featured a legendary clash between the Los Angeles Lakers and the Boston Celtics, two of the greatest teams and players in basketball history. But the drama wasn't just on the court. It extended into one of the most controversial MVP decisions ever. Wilt Chamberlain, the Lakers' dominant center, was an absolute force throughout the series. He averaged incredible numbers, crushing the boards with rebounds and putting up points like no other. Wilt's size, strength, and skill made him the toughest player the Celtics had faced in years. On paper, his performance screamed Finals MVP. Yet the award went to Bill Russell, the Celtics' captain and defensive mastermind. Russell's impact was undeniable. His leadership, defense, and clutch plays helped Boston pull out a hard-fought victory. But many felt this wasn't enough to overshadow Wilt's dominating stats. So why was Wilt snubbed? Back then, the MVP wasn't chosen by stats or pure performance alone. Instead, a panel of sports writers voted, and their decision appeared heavily biased toward the winning team. It was common for the MVP to be awarded to a player from the championship squad, even if another player had a superior individual showing. This political and perceptual bias sparked heated debates among fans, players, and analysts. Some argued Wilt was robbed of his rightful recognition, while others believed Bill's defense and leadership justified the honor. This controversy set a precedent in NBA history, highlighting how MVP voting could sometimes reflect narrative and team success more than individual dominance. Today, the debate remains alive. Was Wilt Chamberlain truly robbed? Or did Bill Russell's all-around game deserve the spotlight? Either way, the 1969 MVP snub is one of the NBA Finals' earliest and most unforgettable controversies, reminding us that sometimes even greatness isn't enough. The 1977 Finals, Kareem's injury and its ripple effect. The 1977 NBA Finals brought the Los Angeles Lakers and the Portland Trail Blazers together in a battle that was supposed to end the Lakers' long championship drought. The Lakers, led by the towering Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who was still known as Lou Alcindor, were the favorites to finally claim the title after years of heartbreak. But just as the series began, disaster struck. Kareem suffered a painful ankle injury that severely limited his ability to play at his usual dominant level. For a player whose presence on the court was synonymous with scoring, defense, and leadership, this was a massive blow. Kareem's absence didn't just weaken the Lakers, it completely shifted the momentum of the series. Without their star center, the Lakers struggled to contain Portland's rising stars, most notably Bill Walton, who played a crucial role in Portland's upset victory. The injury sparked endless what-if debates among fans and analysts. What if Kareem had been healthy and able to play at 100%? Would the Lakers have finally broken their title drought in 1977? Many believe that Kareem's injury was the turning point, not just in the series, but in NBA history. It altered the course of the finals and gave the Trailblazers their first ever championship. The Lakers, who were so close to glory, were left to watch their hopes slip away. This moment is a prime example of how one injury can ripple through a series and change history. It reminds us that in sports, it's not just talent or strategy that decides champions. Sometimes, it's simply who stays healthy. For Lakers fans, the 1977 Finals remain a painful memory, forever marked by Kareem's untimely injury and the question of what might have been. The 1984 NBA Finals. The physical battle and officiating complaints. The 1984 Finals between the Boston Celtics and Los Angeles Lakers was a gritty, physical showdown that many still call one of the toughest series ever played. The Celtics, led by Larry Bird, faced Magic Johnson and the Lakers in a classic East versus West battle. But the series was marred by intense physicality and constant complaints about officiating. Both teams played rough, often pushing the limits of the rules. The Celtics, known for their physical defense, sometimes crossed the line, leading to scuffles and heated moments. Lakers fans argued that the referees favored Boston, calling fouls that seemed questionable and letting Celtics players get away with hard hits. This perceived bias fueled tensions on and off the court, adding fuel to the rivalry. The officiating controversies sparked debates about fairness and consistency. Were the calls truly justified, or was the league protecting its stars? The series went 7 games, with Boston ultimately winning, but the bitterness lingered. Fans on both sides still debate whether the physical play and refereeing shaped the outcome, making the 1984 Finals one of the most controversial in NBA history. The 1987 Finals, the last-second timeout. Fiasco. One of the most controversial moments came in 1987 during Game 4 of the Celtics-Lakers Finals. With seconds left, Lakers coach Pat Riley called a timeout, but they'd already used theirs. Bill Walton, on the court for the Celtics, noticed and called it out. The Lakers were penalized a technical foul, giving Boston 2 free throws in possession, swinging the game. The Lakers lost, and many argue that missed timeout sealed their fate. Pat Riley later called it the worst coaching mistake of his career. That moment wasn't just a mistake. It became one of the most talked-about finals controversies, showing how split-second decisions can haunt champions forever. The 1997 Finals. Michael Jordan's flu game or food poisoning? When you think NBA Finals drama, Michael Jordan's legendary flu game stands tall. But was it really the flu? Game 5 of the 1997 Finals between the Chicago Bulls and Utah Jazz was one for the ages. Jordan came out visibly weak and sick, barely able to stand at times. But with the game on the line, he dropped 38 points, including the game-winning jumper, sealing a critical win for Chicago. The story? Jordan was battling a brutal flu. But some insiders and teammates suggested otherwise. Rumors spread that Jordan was actually suffering from food poisoning, likely from a meal the night before. Others even speculated it might have been a stomach virus or exhaustion from intense travel. Why does it matter? Because the mystery surrounding his condition adds to the myth. Was this a heroic triumph over illness, or just a lucky break? The ambiguity only fueled debates among fans and analysts for decades. What's undeniable is the performance itself. Jordan fought through visible pain, showing relentless willpower and clutch gene. That game became an emblem of toughness, dedication, and the sheer will to win. And it changed how players prepared mentally for the finals, showing that sometimes winning isn't just about skill or strategy, but about pushing beyond human limits. But behind the heroics lurks controversy. Some questioned if the flu game narrative was exaggerated to elevate Jordan's legend. Others wondered if there was more to the story, from team dynamics to health protocols at the time. Either way, the 1997 Finals flu game is still one of the most talked-about NBA Finals moments, blending mystery, pain, and sheer basketball greatness into one unforgettable night. Which NBA Finals controversy shocked you the most? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's settle these debates once and for all. The 1998 Finals. Michael Jordan's last shot and the fouling debate. The 1998 NBA Finals, the grand finale of Michael Jordan's Bulls dynasty, ended with one of the most iconic moments in sports history. But behind that buzzer beater lies a fierce debate that still divides fans. With 5.2 seconds left in Game 6 against the Utah Jazz, Jordan hit the legendary jumper over Brian Russell to win the championship. It was vintage MJ, clutch, smooth, unstoppable. But here's where the controversy kicks in. Many fans and analysts argue that Jordan was fouled on that shot. Hard. If the foul had been called, Jordan would have had 2 free throws with a chance to extend the lead, possibly ending the game even earlier. But the referees let the play go on. Why? Some say the officials wanted to let the game decide naturally in its final moments, not deciding the title on free throws. Others believe there was a subtle bias towards Jordan, who was already cementing his legacy as the greatest. Brian Russell himself admitted he felt contact and thought it should have been a foul. Over the years, countless video analyses have tried to prove or disprove the foul, but no clear consensus has been reached. This moment sparked intense debate about referee consistency and legacy protection. Was Jordan's final shot a pure masterpiece? Or did a no-call help seal the Bulls' sixth title? The league has never officially weighed in. But for fans, that shot represents everything dramatic about NBA Finals history. Brilliance, controversy, and moments that live forever in highlight reels and heated debates. Jordan's shot wasn't just about points. It was about the narrative of a legacy built on clutch moments, some of which might have been helped by the officials' whistles, or silence. The 2000 NBA Finals, the Shaq-Kobe dynamic and referee scrutiny. The 2000 NBA Finals marked the beginning of the Lakers' early 2000s dynasty, with Shaquille O'Neal and Kobe Bryant leading the charge against the Indiana Pacers. But behind the Lakers' dominance was a controversy over both the Shaq-Kobe relationship and the referee's role. Some critics pointed to the Lakers' physical style and Shaq's overpowering presence, questioning whether the referees called fouls fairly or let the Lakers push the limits. Tensions between Shaq and Kobe during the series also became public, raising questions about team chemistry and how personal conflicts might impact performance. Officiating calls in crucial moments were debated heavily, with Pacers fans claiming the refs favored the Lakers. The Lakers won the series in 6 games, but the drama didn't end on the court. This finals controversy is remembered not just for basketball, but for the personal and officiating storylines that shaped the championship. The 2002 Western Conference Finals, the Robert Horry shot, and Tim Donaghy betting scandal shadow. Before diving into the 2002 NBA Finals controversy, we can't skip the epic drama that unfolded just one round earlier, the Western Conference Finals. The LA Lakers faced the Sacramento Kings in one of the most intense playoff series ever. The turning point? Game 4, where Robert Horry hit a buzzer-beating three-pointer that crushed the Kings' hearts and swung momentum heavily to the Lakers. But fans and analysts were suspicious. The game was marred by controversial officiating calls that seemed to favor the Lakers, especially in the final minutes. Many believed the referees let the Lakers get away with key fouls and missed calls, raising eyebrows about fairness. Years later, the scandal surrounding referee Tim Donaghy, who was convicted of betting on games he officiated, added fuel to the fire. While Donaghy wasn't assigned to that series, his revelations about NBA referees casting games in certain lights made fans wonder, was the 2002 Western Conference Finals also influenced behind the scenes? This shadow of doubt followed the Lakers into the finals against the New Jersey Nets. Though the Lakers swept the finals, critics argued the path was tainted, sparking one of the most talked-about controversies in NBA history. Was the Lakers' three-peat tarnished by biased calls and hidden agendas? The conspiracy theories never died, and to this day, the 2002 playoffs remain one of the murkiest in league history. The 2004 NBA Finals, Pistons versus Lakers officiating debate. In 2004, the underdog Detroit Pistons shocked the world by dethroning the star-studded Los Angeles Lakers in the finals. But the series wasn't just about David beating Goliath. It was clouded by endless debates about officiating. The Lakers, boasting Kobe Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal, Gary Payton, and Karl Malone, were expected to dominate. Instead, the Pistons' disciplined defense and teamwork won out, but many Lakers fans and analysts blamed poor refereeing. Critics pointed to inconsistent foul calls that seemed to favor Detroit's physical style, while questionable non-calls on Lakers players fueled outrage. Shaq's struggles in the series, partly due to foul trouble, became a focal point. Was the officiating biased against the Lakers, or was Detroit just the better team? The NBA never issued formal statements, but the controversy lingered. This finals became a prime example of how calls can sway momentum and spark heated debates that last for decades. Think we missed a finals controversy that changed the game? Comment below with your pick. We might cover it in the next video. The 2006 NBA Finals. Kobe Bryant's flagrant foul and its fallout. The 2006 NBA Finals pitted the Miami Heat against the Dallas Mavericks in a series full of tension. But one moment stands out as one of the most controversial fouls in finals history. Kobe Bryant's flagrant foul on Heat's Ron Artest. During Game 3, Kobe delivered a hard, late hit on Artest as he was going for a loose ball. The referees called it a flagrant foul, meaning it was deemed unnecessary and excessive contact. The call shocked many, considering Kobe's superstar status. The flagrant foul energized the Heat, who went on to win the game and eventually the series. Some Lakers fans argued the foul was too harshly called, claiming it shifted the series' momentum. Others saw it as a necessary call to protect players from dirty plays. But controversy didn't stop there. The league's disciplinary approach to flagrant fouls was still evolving, and this incident fueled debates about how stars were treated differently and whether referees were consistent in their decisions during high-stakes moments. The foul also added to Kobe's reputation for playing on the edge. Aggressive, intense, but sometimes crossing the line. Off the court, the incident sparked discussions about player safety, officiating standards, and how emotions run wild in finals pressure cooker environments. In the end, the flagrant foul wasn't just about a single play. It represented a turning point in how physicality and discipline were viewed in finals basketball, making it one of the most memorable controversies of the 2000s. The 2007 NBA Finals. The Cavs' sweep and questions about competitiveness. The 2007 NBA Finals marked the Cleveland Cavaliers' first finals appearance, led by a young LeBron James. They faced the San Antonio Spurs, a seasoned and dominant team. But the series ended in a shocking 4-game sweep, and many fans and analysts questioned the competitiveness of the matchup. Some argued the Cavaliers were simply outmatched and inexperienced, but others raised suspicions about the nature of the sweep, especially given some questionable officiating moments that seemed to favor the Spurs. The Spurs' methodical defense-first approach overwhelmed Cleveland, but the sudden collapse raised eyebrows about whether the Heat drama in the Eastern Conference had taken a toll on the Cavs before the finals. The 2007 Finals sparked conversations about whether certain teams had a clear path paved for their championships and if the league's competitive balance was in question. Though the Spurs' win was unquestionable on the scoreboard, the swift series ended with whispers about fairness and the future of the NBA's playoff structure. The 2010 NBA Finals. The Kobe versus Wade MVP debate. The 2010 Finals featured a fierce battle between the Los Angeles Lakers and Miami Heat. But the real drama wasn't just on the court, it was in the MVP voting. Kobe Bryant led the Lakers to a hard-fought victory over the star-studded Heat, earning his 5th championship. Naturally, he was named Finals MVP. However, a strong case was made for Dwyane Wade, who led Miami in scoring and kept the series competitive despite injuries and lineup issues. Many analysts argued Wade's performances were more consistent, while Kobe's impact was questioned in several games. Fans debated fiercely online and in sports media. Did Kobe deserve the MVP, or should Wade have taken it? This controversy highlighted how MVP voting can become subjective, influenced by narratives, team success, and star power. It also fueled the rising rivalry between the Lakers and Heat, adding another layer of intensity to an already electric series. The debate remains a popular what-if among NBA fans, showing how even MVP awards can spark controversy when two legends battle on the biggest stage. The 2011 NBA Finals. LeBron James' Game 6 collapse and media backlash. The 2011 NBA Finals between the Miami Heat and Dallas Mavericks was loaded with hype, marking LeBron James' first finals appearance with the Heat. But what became one of the biggest controversies wasn't a call or a foul. It was LeBron's infamous Game 6 performance. With the Heat down 3-2 in the series, LeBron struggled mightily in Game 6, scoring just 10 points and missing crucial shots down the stretch. The Miami crowd and media were stunned. Questions about his ability to perform under pressure exploded overnight. The fallout was immediate and brutal. Critics called it a choke, sparking debates about LeBron's mental toughness and clutch gene. Headlines questioned if he could ever be the leader the Heat needed to win a title. But there was more beneath the surface. Injuries, team chemistry issues, and pressure to justify his super team status weighed heavily. LeBron's collapse didn't just cost the Heat the championship. It changed his career narrative. Instead of being hailed as a future champ, he became the target of relentless scrutiny. Yet, that humiliation fueled a legendary comeback, with LeBron winning 4 titles in the next 7 years. The 2011 Finals controversy wasn't just about one game. It was about the power of expectations and how one moment can define or break a superstar's legacy. If this video blew your mind, share it with your basketball crew. Let's get everyone talking about the crazy history of the NBA Finals. The 2013 NBA Finals. Ray Allen's legendary 3 and super team criticism. The 2013 Finals are remembered for one of the greatest shots in NBA history. Ray Allen's clutch three-pointer in Game 6 that saved the Miami Heat from elimination. But behind that iconic moment lies a controversy about the super team era the Heat had ushered in. LeBron James, Dwyane Wade, and Chris Bosh formed a powerhouse, and many fans and analysts criticized the team as being too stacked, calling their dominance unfair and ruining competitive balance. The narrative questioned whether the Heat's championships were earned or a product of assembling star talent via free agency. Ray Allen's shot itself sparked debate. Was it pure skill or just the lucky break the Heat needed? Some argued the NBA's increased emphasis on super teams made finals moments less about gritty competition and more about star power. The 2013 finals controversy wasn't just on the court. It was about how basketball was evolving and what fairness really meant in the modern NBA. The 2016 NBA Finals. Draymond Green's suspension and the Warriors' collapse. The 2016 NBA Finals seemed destined for history. The Golden State Warriors had set an NBA record with 73 regular season wins, looking unbeatable. They raced to a 3-1 series lead over the Cleveland Cavaliers and looked poised to seal the title. But then came one of the most shocking controversies in NBA Finals history. Draymond Green's suspension for Game 5. Green, the Warriors' defensive anchor and emotional leader, was suspended after accumulating too many flagrant foul points. His absence in Game 5 dramatically shifted momentum. Without him, Golden State lost at home, and the Cavaliers seized the opportunity. LeBron James and Kyrie Irving capitalized, winning the next two games and completing an epic comeback from a 3-1 deficit, the first in NBA Finals history. Critics argue that the suspension wasn't just bad luck. Some speculated if the league's disciplinary system was flawed or inconsistently applied. Others questioned if the pressure to keep the series competitive influenced the decision. The controversy deepened when the Warriors' collapse sparked conspiracy theories that the NBA wanted to preserve suspense for TV ratings. Regardless, Draymond's suspension is seen as a turning point, highlighting how a single disciplinary call can alter the fate of a championship. The 2016 Finals became a lasting reminder. In the finals, every decision matters, on and off the court. The 2018 NBA Finals. The Cavaliers' last stand amid injuries and officiating questions. The 2018 Finals marked the last time LeBron James would lead the Cleveland Cavaliers to the championship stage, facing the powerhouse Golden State Warriors once more. But this series was marred by injury woes and controversies over officiating. Kevin Love missed the entire finals due to injury, and other Cavs players battled ailments that limited their effectiveness. Meanwhile, several questionable calls by referees in key moments raised eyebrows. Critics and fans debated whether the Warriors benefited from favorable whistles that swung tight games. Kyrie Irving's clutch performances kept Cleveland alive, but in the end, Golden State's depth and experience proved too much. The 2018 Finals sparked discussions about how injuries and officiating can dramatically impact championship runs. It was also a somber moment, signaling the end of Cleveland's final streak and LeBron's last shot at a title with the Cavs. The 2019 NBA Finals, the Kawhi Leonard and Paul George dynamic. The 2019 Finals featured the Toronto Raptors versus the Golden State Warriors, but off-court drama was just as intense as on-court action. Kawhi Leonard, who was quiet and focused, carried the Raptors to their first-ever championship. Meanwhile, Paul George, the Warriors' new star addition, was expected to help Golden State dominate. However, George struggled throughout the series, especially in crucial moments, fueling debates about whether he could handle finals pressure. Some analysts and fans blamed the pressure and media hype, while others suggested internal team dynamics and coaching decisions affected performance. Additionally, the Raptors were praised for their defensive schemes, but Warriors fans criticized refereeing calls they felt favored Toronto. The 2019 Finals controversy was less about bad calls and more about player dynamics, pressure, and the challenge of defeating a well-oiled defensive machine. The 2020 NBA Finals. The NBA bubble and Kawhi Leonard's Raptors triumph. The 2020 NBA Finals were unlike any other, played inside the Orlando bubble due to the COVID-19 pandemic, with no fans in attendance and strict health protocols. The finals featured the Los Angeles Lakers versus the Toronto Raptors. The Raptors, led by Kawhi Leonard, captured their first-ever championship in franchise history. But the bubble environment sparked controversies and debates. Some critics questioned whether the Raptors' success was helped by the unusual conditions, the lack of crowd noise, the isolation from home court pressure, and the unique schedule. Was the bubble an advantage or a disadvantage? Did it level the playing field, or did it favor certain teams? Kawhi Leonard's stellar performances silenced most critics, but conspiracy theories about the NBA's desire to crown a new champion in unusual times swirled. The bubble also raised questions about mental health, player motivation, and how extraordinary circumstances affect performance. Despite the debates, the 2020 finals symbolized resilience and adaptability in uncertain times. Kawhi's calm, consistent dominance and the Raptors' teamwork made for one of the most memorable, if controversial, finals chapters in NBA history. The NBA Finals are more than just games. They're battles of skill, will, and sometimes controversy that shape the very fabric of basketball history. From snubbed MVPs to game-changing injuries and blown calls, these moments remind us why the finals capture our hearts and spark endless debates. The drama, the triumphs, the heartbreaks. It's all part of what makes basketball the greatest show on earth. So next time you watch the finals, remember, behind every trophy lies a story worth telling, a controversy worth debating, and a legacy that never fades. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned, because the game's biggest stories are far from over.